Now we move on to step 3, and this is a bit harder, but it's basic math, and we just need to tell Python what to do. Now remember, this entire series, Google is your best friend. You don't know something, Google it, and there's almost always an answer. You can always come to these videos, but they should be sort of a last resort when you can't find the answer online. It's not recommended that you copy and paste, but looking over other people's code can help you understand your own. So with that information, let's move on to step 3. So here in the last 2 steps, we created our random number generator and we put the user input. Now we want to compare the two. So if we say now we use if and then and else if statements. So that may sound confusing, but it really isn't. First of all, we're going to set up a comparison. So we can say if bracket random, or rather let's use the user input. If the user input variable is equal to random variable, then sorry, if that is equal, so instead of so here we have a singular equals to, and that just means that you're equaling whatever is here to that. That's not what we want to do. Instead of defining it, we want to read it, and we do this by using double equals to signs. And we can say random here, and that is going to give you a blue thing saying yes, I recognize that this is the same thing as that and that. So remember, a single equal sign defines it and a double equal sign reads it. So let's just put that there. And to end an if statement, you want to put a semicolon. Sorry, just a colon here, and I'm just going to put a comment saying 1 equals to is to define, 2 is to read. And if we hit enter, we can see that we are indented. This just means everything that's indented is inside this if then statement. So now we can say if user input equals random number generator thing, we can say print you win, because if the user inputs the exact number that was generated by the random number generator, then the game is over and the user wins. But if we say that the user was slightly off by, maybe they went too high, then it can print go higher or go lower, right? So how do we do that? We can do it in a couple of ways. One way is to write another if statement, or we can hook it onto the end of this if statement by using elif. And elif just simply stands for else if. It's just a shorthand, but there is no else if in Python, it's only elif. So if we put our brackets there again and say user input is higher or more than random, then we can say print guess lower. Now we can see that we use the compare sign, so this side's bigger than that side. Very simple stuff. And then just a similar idea here, we can put elif user input is less than random, we can make it print guess higher. And if we were now to run this, we can see that it prints out the random number generated, but it won't at the end of this. This is just to see if it was working. So if we say 70, guess lower. And if we run it again, this time with a different number, and we say 12, guess higher. Then if we run again, we can say 97, and if we guess exactly, it says, hey, you win. So now that we have our compare, we can move on to the second to last step. So we've kind of just combined these two steps here.